All right, Scrap fans, I've got another round one match here. Well, can I say a match? You know, I've been sent a replay, but I've only been sent one, so I'm not entirely sure what's going on there. Round one matches should be best of 3 games, but I've only been sent a single replay, so I don't know. Is this game 1 of 1? Is it a best of 1? Is that what they've played? Who knows? Anyway, it's qwhaty, qwhaty, maybe. qwhaty up in the top left of Redshift, and of course Redshift, both players spawn on the left hand side of the map. It's one of these types of maps, isn't it? It's a kind of slightly odd map in as much as the straight line distance between your bases, if you mine out these gold minerals, is remarkably short. Anyway, qwhaty is apparently going to go for a really fast expo in the gold. Yeah, you don't really need 2 workers to build that qwhaty, and you don't have enough minerals for it either, so I don't know what's happening there. In addition to that, this pylon double gas is absolutely disgusting. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, Olie is dutifully walling off the wrong ramp. This is your front door, and has gone double depot opener. Who doesn't like to see a double depot? You know, so classic EMS StarCraft happening here already. Top tip: you don't need 2 depots. You don't. Not yet, anyway. No. A couple of gateways coming down for qwhaty, and a couple of pylons as well. 2 pylons at the front door here, quite far away from these buildings, but that's fine. This double gas not really working out for him since he hasn't put any workers in them, but that's probably conserve workers because he isn't building any. That said, over on the other side of Redshift here, Olie isn't building workers either, although he has just started one, and that will get him up to the 12 that he originally started the game with, mining minerals. So qwhaty meanwhile has dropped from the 12 workers that you start the game with to 6 now mining minerals. So he's actually gone backwards incredibly in 2 minutes here from the starting point. Double racks, triple racks is going to come down here for Olie. How is he going to fund these raxes? Nobody knows, but he is getting towards saturation with workers still being built. Marine out front, I like the Marine out front. Early warning if anything comes. Disappointingly though, since that's the only Marine, I don't know what he's going to do about it if something does appear. In terms of scouting, literally nothing has happened on that side, and literally nothing has happened on that side. So neither of these players has the first idea what their opponent is doing. Luckily, what their opponent is doing is by and large not much. So qwhaty struggling to get back to the 12 workers that he started the game with, mining minerals, is building a side core though, and we have got zealots in production. So once this side core finishes up, hopefully we're going to see something. Oh, I've just realized that this could go faster. Once this finishes up, hopefully we'll see something in production more interesting than zealots. Maybe a stalker, who knows, maybe a sentry. Olie is going to expand, and is going to be the first player in this game to expand. Nice clustering here of the supply depots. Olie now at 14 supply at the 3 minutes 40 mark, 14 workers mining the minerals, so we'll soon be saturated, and these mules coming down is going to help a great deal in terms of income. So I would expect to see an income advantage for our Terran player, and we do see, but it's not radical. Meanwhile, Olie is actually ahead on gas as well, so you know, has got some although not ahead on gas income, I should add. Has got some money to spend now, can start cranking out Marines 4 at a time, and that is going to give him an advantage over the 2 at a time production happening in the Protoss base. However, Robo Bay coming down, and also Twilight Council is going to enable some slightly higher tech out of the Protoss. Ollie's going to push forward with a Marine here, and is finally going to find out where his opponent is. That Marine's going to run in and has given him a little bit of information in the process of dying. So he saw these buildings, and before it died he saw that there were some stalkers, so that's better than nothing. Do bear in mind, as a Terran, you've always got the option to drop a scan from your orbital command on your opponent's base, and that does give you useful scouting information. No upgrades yet from either player. That's just warp gate, that kind of goes without saying. So factories coming down Ollie, what you should really do is get a tech lab onto one of your barracks and research at the very least combat shield, because that will turn a Marine's health from 45 to 55, which I don't need to tell mathematicians is a substantial increase. This is a dark shrine coming out for qwhaty, and a dark shrine will enable him to make invisible men. If Ollie hasn't played against invisible men before, that really can end the game in horrific fashion. Nobody likes to see the invisible men because you can't. That's very much the thing there, isn't it? Them being invisible and all. Nobody likes to see their workers dying to kind of shimmering, the shimmering, I don't know what you would call it. I was going to call it a shadow. It's not really a shadow. This stuff is what you don't want to see it. You don't want to see it. Trust me, you don't want to see it. Typically it's the swish swish of the weapons that they've got that alerts you to the fact that you're getting killed by invisible men. It'd be pretty harsh if the warp prism actually got gunned down before it unloaded the invisible men. That hasn't been the case though. The invisible men are out. There is the swishy swish. Ollie has got enough energy for a scan. Will he understand what's happening here and drop the scan? It looks like no. Ollie doesn't know what to do about the invisible men. So Ollie, what you need to do is use your orbital command, press C, drop a scan, and but you do have to scan it while you've got some things there that can kill the invisible men. Otherwise, all you really achieved with that scan was you got to see the invisible men briefly, and now you can't see them again because the scan's worn off. So, never scan until you're ready to kill the invisible men. Another top tip here, invisible men obviously are pretty OP, they're invisible. They can't fly, your buildings can, so you can just lift these buildings into the air and the invisible men can't get them. Ollie's probably doing the sensible thing here and is countering. In this process, he needs to make sure he's got a scan ready, because you've got to expect invisible men at home as well. And here come the invisible men, and they are just going to hack through everything. Unfortunately, the tanks were just doing a bit of a jig. They're dancing about at the bottom of the ramp, dying because they couldn't see the stuff at the top. You can't see up ramps. You have to have a unit up there to give you sight. So it does look like this game is going to end somewhat ignobly, with qwhaty just killing his opponent with units that his opponent can't see. And honestly, Ollie's got to be a bit salty about that, because by pretty much every measure, until the invisible men arrived, Ollie was ahead. Was ahead in workers, was ahead in terms of production, was not ahead in terms of knowing what to do when invisible men start killing your base. So now that he's lost the ability to scan, there is literally nothing he can do to see these, other than just be salty and fly buildings around. For some reason, the DTs have decided to walk off, despite being literally untouchable. This turret is going to come down far too late. The turret is of course a detector and reveals the invisible men, but again, once there's nothing there to actually shoot them, that doesn't do you any good. We're not going to get a GG by the looks of it. Ollie feeling pretty salty about this loss, and is not going to quit. He's just going to wait for the buildings to die. But anyway, there it is. I don't know, did they play another game? I don't know. qwhaty whatever, won that first one. Will there be another? Who knows?